Thank you, Madam Chair. And before I start, I'd just like to say thank you to all the delegates. You guys have helped me make it this far. It's my last year on the mountain, and I really enjoyed this opportunity to present this proposal to you. There are two simple words a person can say to accept a lifetime of rights, privileges, and responsibilities. I do. By agreeing to marry, an individual enters into a legal contract with another individual, thereby gaining a whole host of exclusive rights and responsibilities concerning their spouse. Unfortunately, due to discrimination based on sexual orientation, these legal rights are not attainable to all citizens. According to the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution, all citizens are guaranteed the equal protection of the law, which makes this form of legal discrimination unconstitutional. One of the foremost reasons that people are against any form of homosexual union is because of the use of the word marriage as a title of government-recognized legal contract between two individuals. The word marriage carries a religious connotation to this government-recognized legal contract, which firstly violates the Establishment Clause and separation of church and state, and also serves to deny individuals from gaining legal rights because of their sexual orientation. So here's a solution. Remove marriage as a form of legal contract recognized by the government, and replace it with civil union, which will carry all of the legal rights and responsibilities as marriage, but none of the religious connotation. Any two individuals, whether heterosexual or homosexual, will attain rights and responsibilities through a civil union. Any couple wanting to be officially married needs only the recognition of a church. However, this will not be acknowledged by the government. All states must adjust current policy to be in accordance with this proposal if they wish to receive any federal funding. Thank you, and I look forward to the debate.
Madam Chair, Ben DeRossi for the delegation. I'd like to speak in content to this proposal. Marriage has been around for only God knows how long, and that is actually quite apt. I believe that the fact that marriage is not homosexuals is completely ludicrous, and that harms nobody, the fact that they can't have it. But replacing all marriages with civil unions, which is seen as just dark. It's like civil union is just like a governmental term that you use to maybe describe. You might find in the form for civil unions, the also references to the paper supply that the Pentagon uses in a year. Marriage is a sacred institution that has had meaning for years. We've got the whole might be factory wedding. We've got all this culture that we built through millennia through marriage. And it's an institution that's as old as humanity, possibly humanity itself. I completely laud the attempt to give homosexuals the full legal rights of marriage, which is absolutely, like I said, ludicrous that they don't have it. But I believe that replacing marriage with civil unions between person A and person B is something very dark and cold, and it's not something between a man and wife, or even man and man. It doesn't matter, as long it's something special. And I yield the remainder of the time to the chair.
Thank you, Delegate Brooks, Michigan delegation. The divorce rate is disturbingly high. In America, 41% of all first marriages end in divorce. It's even higher in second and third marriages, with 60% in second marriages and 73% in third. The United States has the largest divorce rate in the entire world, and most marriages end in the early years of matrimony. So it's not the homosexuals that degrade the sanctity of marriage, it's the heterosexual Americans that are split with religion. I know the opposition believes that America was founded on marriage and traditional values that are religious, but it was actually founded on hardworking people who strive for independence and individual rights. Also, marriage is too much of a religious term. Marriage is a religious sacrament. When you take your first communion, you don't have to register with the government. Marriage will be the same way. It can only be performed by a church. That clearly defies separation of church and state, and that's simply unconstitutional. So now we have to look at the legality of marriage as a whole. Race, creed, belief, and sexuality should not determine whether you get to spend the rest of your life with the love of your life and receive all the benefits as well. Sexuality should not define who you are as a person and take away from your individual unalienable rights. So let's put an end to marriage. Also, nothing is dark or cold about civil unions. What's dark, cold, evil, and sick is that people are being discriminated solely because of their sexual preference. Thank you. I yield my time to the chair.
Thank you, Christina Wiley. For the delegation, I would like to reserve my right to yield any remaining time to Delegate Ms. Schwarter from Florida.
That is your right.
Thank you. Marriage is a tradition of hundreds of years. It is accepted by many religions, but I wouldn't say that it is particularly a religious term. I don't see any reason why we couldn't have marriages alongside civil unions. I have no opposition to that, but I don't see why we have marriages in order to have civil unions too. They've worked for years, they're tried and true, tradition that many people follow, and they're just a tradition, and I think people should be able to continue following that. And with that, I yield the remainder of my time to Delegate McClure.
Thank you, Delegate. You have a minute and 10 seconds.
McClure, Florida. Thank you, Madam Chair. The traditional marriage is the base of the traditional family. And the traditional family is the foundation of this nation. It's the means by which our history, our values, our common beliefs as a nation have been passed down and have endured through time. I urge you to vote. Also, marriage doesn't have to be a religious ceremony. You can get married on a boat by a captain. And I urge you to vote against the proposal in the interest of our country and preserving the sanctity of the institution that has preserved us. And I yield my time.
Mirror, California Republic, and I reserve the right to yield the remainder of my time to Blake in New Mexico.
That is in order.
As the author said, any two people wishing to enter a civil union can. So a man and a man, legal. A woman and a woman, legal. A cousin and a cousin, legal. The beautiful thing about this proposal is that it won't limit civil legal rights to one group. It doesn't stop at homosexual rights, but effectively allows any consenting couple to marry, be it siblings or cousins. Do you know that over 100,000 cousin couples exist in the U.S. today? This proposal's civil unions effectively extend rights to everyone, and it's about time. Civil unions already exist in Spain, Belgium, Iceland, the Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Greenland, Switzerland, and numerous other nations. Marriage is sacred, but civil rights are not. Thank you, and I yield the remainder of my time to Blaine from New Mexico.
You have 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Benjamin Clay, the Enchanted Land of New Mexico. I'd like to address the previous speaker that noted that our country was founded on a basis of heterosexual relationships. Many of our founding fathers had no wife. Many of our founding fathers could have been homosexuals. There have always been homosexuals in our world. There have not been homosexual marriages in our world. Do you know why? Because your religion and my religion do not recognize homosexual marriages. Pardon me. A civil union is a government-recognized union, and it is time that our government recognizes the values of our day and allows me to marry my lover. Thank you.
I would like to clarify from what a previous delegate has said that marrying a cousin is legal, which is declared in today's illegal, or within the states it's illegal. So thank you. I give the rest of my time.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jalen Chapman, New York. I'd like to reserve the remainder of my time to Delegate Roberts from Connecticut.
That's in order.
It's a well-known fact that marriage has become an increasingly controversial issue in regards to the recognition and rights given by the government. This proposal has the perfect solution. Just get rid of it. The proposal contains a section of the 14th Amendment and the obvious meaning of it. I find it incredibly odd how people take the personal lives of others into their concern, as if it's their own business, especially in the case of homosexual marriage. Homosexual marriage in no way has any negative effect on anybody. The elimination of marriage can help the United States take a major step toward equality. This denial of marriage to homosexuals is clearly discriminatory, as well as a violation of the separation between church and state. This is not even outlined the religious ceremony of marriage, so those whose churches recognize them may still be married, but only with a spiritual connotation. And I'd like to yield the rest of my time to the delegate.
Delegate, you have 57 seconds.
Rachel Roberts, representing the state of Connecticut. I would like to clear up a misconception that there seems to be in this current room. I attend a school which is a mercy school based on Catholic faith. We learn all this wonderful Catholic doctrine based on canonized teachings of the Church. The Catholic Church teaches that you have to have a governmentally recognized marriage, as well as a Catholic and religiously recognized marriage. If the Catholic Church can figure out that it's two separate things, as well as say that you can have a civil union and then a religious ceremony in accordance with marriage, then how is it that the individuals of this room of a high intelligence are having such trouble doing so?